Dear students, good evening. In the light of my last lectures related to preamble and eminent domain, different concepts I discussed with you. Today I will discuss with you very basic aspect about fundamental rights and directive principles. You are well versed and aware, but just to review the situation again, in the last 70 years, what we have done in the name of fundamental rights and directive principles. The first thing is we could make relationship between directive principles and fundamental rights. Initially, when we framed Constitution of India, the objective of the Constitution was very different, just to provide the fundamental rights and directive principles on different footing. But in 21st century particularly, we moved further and we are able to establish a relationship between the two, because for human beings, individual development is necessary as well as community development is necessary. Community development is based upon individual development and individual development is based upon community development. So we may discuss like this, that fundamental rights are for individual development, say in the name of freedoms and liberties provided under the Constitution of India, and community development by virtue of directive principle, articles 36 to 51A, including duties as provided under the Constitution of India. But when we go deep and having insight that what is the relevance of directive principles, directive principles are important to achieve social and economic rights. Social and economic rights in democratic setup can be achieved by framing policies and the legislations in this regard to make it compulsory, say education up to 14 years as a fundamental rights, and the similar reflection is under directive principles. So in the 21st century, we are able to establish a relationship between fundamental rights and directive principles. That is a practical view. I just gave you one example, but theoretically they are provided under different chapters as chapter 3rd and chapter 4th. And theoretically, when we go through fundamental rights and directive principles, then we are somewhere compelled to differentiate them in the light of provisions, articles. So fundamental rights basically are declarations. Directive principles are not declarations, but they are there to achieve something, maybe economic or social rights. On the other hand, fundamental rights are a kind of, you may say, political declarations, because we have already committed that we the people by the people. This part is provided under the preamble, and we the people by the people are committed to achieve at least fundamental freedoms and liberties as provided under the Constitution of India. But in case of directive principle, they are not enforceable. It depends upon the wish of the government or the state, sometimes on the state and sometimes on the government, whether they are going to provide us a particular policy to achieve economic status and social status. Already I discussed with you, this is a kind of socialist view, or to achieve economic democracy. Here we left few things and we just stress on social democracy instead of economic democracy, because economic democracy somewhere leads towards communism. So we are not here in the interest of communism or economic democracy. We are interested in the light of socialist approach, socialist ideology as provided under preamble, socialism, socialist approach. So in view of socialist ideology, we are framing policies, we are framing legislations, and on the other hand, when we compare the situation, that fundamental rights a kind of parameter where we can easily pass legislation by considering the parameter of fundamental rights, and fundamental rights are here just for the sake of freedoms and liberties. Directive principles are not for the sake of freedoms and liberties but to achieve something more for community development, and community development is important for us. Take second example, in a very short, I am giving you this part in a very brief manner, that the agenda of parties when we go for election manifesto, most of them are based upon directive principles. So directive principle is again a parameter not for individual growth or individual freedoms and liberties but for the purpose of community development at large. So we are able to understand the relationship between individual development and community development, and on the other side we could understand properly the difference between fundamental rights and directive principles. So dear students, now I think that now you are able to understand the differentiation, and you may complete your this part with the help of web link I have already sent you today. Thank you very much.